Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Big Mike back again. And today is a bit of a special video today with Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 right around the corner. Got some midnight releases tonight in the US. Sadly, I won't be attending, but I have my tickets for Sunday. So today, we are going to rank all 14 movies currently out. That includes Doctor Strange, that includes Iron Man. Currently, it does not include Fantastic Four or X-Men. So you will not be seeing them. You will not be seeing Deadpool. So, here we go. Number 14. 14? Nobody, well, there's a few people who like it. I still think it's fun. Iron Man 2. You could tell the studio got their paws on it. The weird amalgamation character of Whiplash or whoever the heck he's supposed to be. Although that's not really the movie's fault. The Iron Man villains are pretty much terrible. I mean, go look at Iron Man's rogue galleries. They're pretty bad. Not like Batman's at all. So, there you go. 14. Iron Man 2. 13. Again, another fun one, but feel like it could have been a little bit better. Thor, The Dark World. Now, like I said, I like Thor. He's a hell of a character, very underrated in the MCU. Thor, The Dark World, its only real main problem I have is with the villain. But I feel like they took away from Malekith, whose actor had to learn an entirely new language, the language of the elves, for more Loki. Now, I love Loki. He's easily one of the best villains in the MCU. But I feel like it's time to move on from Loki at this time. Give Malekith his own thing. But ultimately, what we got from Malekith was, I want to block out everything in the universe, turn it to where it was before the Big Bang, I guess. And for why? Because not really a good villain there, but I still have fun with it. And we still get to see a lot more of the other 9 realms of Asgard. So, you know, it's passable. And it has one of my favorite scenes in it. The Frigga, Thor's mom's funeral, Viking style. That was really cool. I don't care what you say. That was a cool little scene. So that's 13. Number 12. A little bit of a redheaded stepchild of the MCU because Universal still has distribution rights. Incredible Hulk. Now, there's a few little things I don't really like about it. One being Ed Norton. Hell of an actor, like him and everything else. He just had the wrong physique for this, for Bruce Banner. Now what I mean is, when I think scientist, I think maybe someone who looks like me. Kind of a pot belly, not really, kind of fit, but not really has a six-pack. So you see a big muscly guy turn into a bigger muscly guy. Doesn't really look right to me, you know what I mean? Leaving out the leader for as long. If you don't know who that is, Mr. Blue. I forget his real name in the comics and the movie. But you see his head grow, look at the camera, and then that's it. I'm not saying he should have been in the final fight, but he should have done something. You know, I want to see the leader already. And also another thing is with the actress who plays Betty Ross. That's General Thunderbolt Ross's daughter. I kind of want to see her back for one more thing. You know, see how she would interact with Black Widow. But you know, we'll see. Maybe we'll see that in the future. Hopefully. And, yeah. Number 11. It's debated on if this is a good movie or not. I like it. I like the little twist in it. Number 11, Iron Man 3. Now, a lot of people will complain about this movie saying, oh, it's bad. We don't get enough Iron Man. We get Tony Stark. I like Tony Stark in this movie. He works. Plus, we get to see him be affected by flying through a freaking wormhole in space in the Avengers. I mean, that's cool. And then you got the whole thing with the Mandarin twist. I was okay with it. Like, I saw how people would be mad about it. But there's no way this is worse than Iron Man 2. Iron Man 2 was bad. Villain was good. I thought Killian was good. One thing that really kind of irked me was AIM was just mentioned in name, and then that was it. No more AIM. I would have liked to see the dudes in the freaking radiation suits like they were in the comics. Have them be a bigger threat. But, yeah, that's just me. Maybe we'll get MODOK in the future. I hope so. Because he's just a weird villain, and I like weird villains. So there's that. Number 10, top 10. This one, I think, gets a little flack. A little more flack than it deserves. It's a good origin story. It's a good story about a good bunch of people. Especially Star Spangled Man with the Plan. Captain America, the First Avenger. Hugo Weaving, amazing villain. Hope Red Skull returns someday. Introduces the Tesseract. Although Thor does that, I think. Yeah, Thor does that. And, yeah, we get good villain, good side villain in Zola. I liked Agent K in this film. Peggy Carter's good. There's only one little thing that irks me about this film, and that's with the Howling Commandos. If you don't know who they are, they're Cap's team. They all go all across the war, Nazi Germany, taking out the Hydra weapons. And we don't really get any time with the individual members of Cap's team. Instead, we get a montage of them blowing stuff up, which, don't get me wrong, is cool, but I would have liked to have some time to get to know the other commandos, you know? And that's my only real little thing about it. Number 9, top 9. This movie gets a little flack, but I like it personally. It's not perfect. It does have some sequelitis to it. Avengers: Age of Ultron. James Spader as Ultron, perfect. Design of Ultron, I love it. I love that he now has a personality. Other than in the comics, he's just a killbot. Sorry, comic book fans, but it's true. The comic book Ultron is just a generic killbot. So, now we got a little personality with Ultron. My main problem with this is it's clearly in here to set up the other movies, like Thor: The Dark World and Infinity War, etc., etc. It never has time to really stand on its own 2 feet. I still like it, though. I still think it's a fun little movie. And it's passable. Number 8. I do love this movie. It's a great little heist movie that turns into a superhero movie. Ant-Man. Now, of course, when you think Ant-Man, you think Hank Pym. I do like Hank Pym, but then you'd have to include Ultron. So I'm glad we got Scott Lang. And the cast is just, it's great. You got Paul Rudd as Lang. You got Michael Douglas, Hank Pym, Michael Pena, like MVP side character. I love him. He's great. This is a great movie. No real complaints. It's just by the end it just becomes another kind of superhero movie, but yeah, it's got some cool effects. I like it. I still like it. Number 7. Don't have the disc yet. Maybe we'll get it someday. Doctor Strange. A little more of a recent movie. Pretty much it's Iron Man, but instead of, the suit of armor, you get magic, which is cool. I like the magical stuff in there. It's explained very well. You get Dormammu finally, which I enjoy this character. And the final battle is just so different from the rest of them. It's like, it's not even a battle. It's just, you go see it. Go get the DVD and watch it. It's a great final battle, if you can even call it that. Is it really? It's not even really a battle. It's just go see it. Trust me. I love all the side characters. Baron Mordo is good, although he'll be a villain down the road. Spoilers. The Ancient One, even though she's not of Asian descent, I liked her. And yes, it is a her. I forget her name though. And it's just a really trippy, good movie. Number 6. Bit of an underrated origin story. I do like it. I don't really love it, but it does have some good qualities. The original Thor. I like Thor's origin. I'm glad they didn't include him losing his memory like he did in the comics, because then that would take a while for him to get his memories back, get the hammer, etc., etc. The side characters are okay. My only problem is Natalie Portman. Don't get me wrong, she's beautiful. That's all she's got. She's a chemistry dropout, if you could call her that. She didn't work as the Star Wars prequel princess, whatever her name was. Try to push those movies out of my mind. I do like the other side characters too, so it's a fine movie. It's fun, and we get to learn a lesson with Thor, the Thunder God. Number 5. A lot of people have a problem with this one. I really don't. And that's Captain America, Civil War. Now, a lot of people say, oh, it's not direct development to the comics. It's only Civil War in name. Yeah, so what? I mean, if you would really want Civil War directly made into a movie, Marvel would have to get the Fantastic Four. They'd have to develop all kinds of other teams. I mean, this is fine. This is great. We got the introduction of Black Panther. We get Spider-Man. Like, holy crap. That's awesome. And that airport fight scene. Like, holy crap, that's awesome. And it's a fine movie. You're going to have to watch everything else before it to understand what the heck is going on. But it is seriously a good time. And then in the end credit scene, we see Wakanda for the first time. My jaw dropped in the theater. Like, that was great. Yeah, so Civil War, underrated. Next film, number 4. We're getting into the tops now. The end of Phase 1 that started it all. The original Avengers movie. Now, upon multiple viewings, it does lose a little bit of its kick, but